Liberation greetings to all and sundry, my dear people of Ambazonia, fellow brave warriors of our liberation movement, my people of the southern Cameroons, accept liberation greetings from me this day, Comrade John Akuro, wherever you may be. I want to extend salutes as usual, first and foremost, to our prisoners of war and our prisoners of conscience. And I want to use this opportunity to urge our people, wherever you may be, to continue to provide whatever form of assistance you can to our prisoners of war and our prisoners of conscience. They are really facing very difficult moments in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon, be it in Douala, be it in Yaounde, be it in Bafoussam, in other parts, in Bamenda, Boya, all over the place. We have people all over the place who are undergoing torture, both physical and moral, emotional, all forms of torture for our sake and for the sake of our freedom. So I chose this moment to say, please, whenever and however you can, make sure that you are reaching out and providing them any form of assistance that you can provide. Because they, despite the challenges they are facing, they are continuing to stand very, very strong. They are continuing to fight for what we all believe in, for freedom, for the freedom of our homeland, to restore the soul of our country. I also like to extend very hearty salutes to our brave hearts who are doing everything on ground zero with very limited means to see how to, kick La République du Cameroon out of our territory. At this moment, you understand there's lockdown in the number of counties where they are protesting the inhumane treatment that one lunatic called Kwetong Anderson Konge from Bamising in Dob is meting out on our people, especially children who are, babies who are only months old, find themselves in jail with women and other people for no crime committed by these people, for the simple reason that they have family relation with people who are fighting for freedom and who are carrying arms. Whereas this is because they had a confrontation with soldiers of La République du Cameroon. I got some rumors yesterday, I call it rumors stricto sensu, that they said the Kwetong Anderson Konge is resisting to release the people because, as he promised, they have already killed 5 of the people. This, I say, it is rumor. And I said, I will not report rumor. So I have sent word, and I'm saying this just so if you have heard it too, know it is rumor. It's not yet fact. I have sent word and I've sent people to verify and to come back to me with information about the well-being of these individuals who are being so unjustly and so unlawfully. When I say unlawfully, I'm not talking about the laws of La République du Cameroon. I'm talking about international law, who are being unlawfully detained, tortured, and demoralized. And I want to know if they are not being sexually abused. This is something that soldiers of La République du Cameroon are very used to doing. And I understand that Kwetong Anderson Konge himself has taken advantage of his position and has been sexually abusing a lot of the civil servants who go to him to plead for him to ensure that they kind of, maintain their pay. Because whenever he wants a woman and she doesn't want him, he will write to Yaounde and get the salary suspended on grounds that they are not at work and they are not at this and that. And the only condition under which he will, sign a document to say the salary should be released is when he has had his carnal satisfaction. This is a horrible thing. These are things that should not happen. And I think that the international bodies that generally condemn this kind of attitudes are taking note of this kind of situation in Gokatunjia. I'm saying this and I'm reiterating it. What embarrasses me is that you have some lunatics, sorry to call them that, but that is what they are by their actions, who call themselves senators, call themselves MPs. None of them has raised the little finger to protest what is happening to these babies, to these infants. One is just 3 months old and the other is 8 months old. And they are there with their mothers, lactating mothers. This is a horrible situation. These individuals they are going after are adults. And I don't know how someone else will be responsible for the act committed by another adult. Those fighters are not minors, they're adults. And therefore, no other person, even if a woman begets a son, she doesn't control his heart. This is something that we need to know. And I'm saying and reiterating that these are horrible practices that Kwetong and Desen Konge is promoting in Gokutunja. A lot of female teachers have found themselves trapped in the entrails of Kwetong and Desen Konge because he believes that right now, because he's on the side of the oppressor and is protected by the bee, he is up, he's in the upper heavens. He has, he has been offered impunity. He can do whatever he wants. He has been given a license to kill. And worse, he's exercising it on his own people. Because not only is he from Gokutuja, he hails from Bamising, where these individuals I'm talking about also hail from. This is a horrible, horrible situation. It's something that cannot leave you sleeping. And some gentleman is there, calling himself Njingu Musa. One Jingu Musa says he's member of parliament for Ngokutundia, whether is it north or south, yeah, but that particular area should fall under his jurisdiction. Although nobody elected him, Yaounde appointed him, but he claims he's member of parliament from that area. One small word has not come out of the lips of Njingu Musa. He's not alone. There's also Bangmi Emmanuel. There's also Bangmi Emmanuel who hails from the same area, who also says he's member of parliament. That's someone to whom I really gave a lot of credit, because there was a time he was actually an honorable. So I'll call him Honorable Bangmi Emmanuel, because he actually won elections. And at the time, we put up a steep fight to get the late Fondo Guanyin to give way, and Bangmi Emmanuel emerged. But I'm shocked and embarrassed that Bangmi Emmanuel, Honorable Bangmi Emmanuel, can sit and be watching this kind of horrible things happening to infants, and he doesn't open his lips. Yet they will come around and tell you that they are our elite. It is shameful, it is disgusting, and it is embarrassing. Yeah, even my friend Dinga Ignatius, also Senator Dinga Ignatius, I'm wondering how you people go to bed and sleep and slumber. Ufi Chinje Melo, Ufi Chinje, you are a woman, a mother too. Hail, you married in Gokutunja, even if you hail from Santa, but she exercises politics in Gokutunja, in Babesi. I'm embarrassed that none of you is raising the little finger. Dr. Wana Bernard Sama, where are you people? Where are you all? I'm calling because I know all of you. I know all of you, and I'm embarrassed. Even those of the opposition. Yo Emmanuel, one word I haven't heard any of you come out to say this is inhuman and this is unacceptable. One thing I wonder is that this war definitely will end. La République du Cameroon will get out of our territory. You and your descendants will be back in these same communities. How will you be looking at the people? What will you be telling the people? That you stood by and watched such horrible acts, such injustices carried out even on infants, and you didn't say a word. Don't tell me that you're not responsible for it. Don't tell me that you did not order their detention. Don't tell me that you are not involved in the decision that led to their detention. You are office holders. Whether you were elected or not, but at least you are appointed and you carry that title. And you move around in the world and tell people that you are a representative of these people. Your silence equal participation. Your silence equal guilt. Your silence simply indicates that you are happy with what is going on. And I must tell you that I'm seriously embarrassed. If I don't say it, no, then I'm not being serious. Then I'm not being honest to myself. This is what is going on. My people, that is why, to kickstart this broadcast, I brought this thought that we share together. I say, I no longer, I no longer listen to what people say. I just watch what they do. Behavior never lies. I say, I no longer listen to what people say. I just watch what they do because behavior never lies. We are watching by their silence, by their inactivity. They are not just passive, they are active participants in the genocide that is ongoing in the southern Cameroons. If I don't say this, then personally, I will not be at peace with myself. It's important to say it and to say it this loudly. You who are listening to me, you who are watching me, who knows any of these people, share this video, let it reach them so they know that their silence has become so shouting that right in the diaspora we have taken note. Let them know that their silence has become so shouting that right now we are getting ready to begin tweeting out their pictures all over the world as people who are perpetrators of infant genocide, who are participating in infanticide in the southern Cameroons. Let them know. You who are watching me and who knows any one of them, or who knows anyone that knows them, share this with them. You know any forum to which they belong, share this in that forum. They need to hear me say it. If anyone else is afraid of saying it, I am not afraid. I will say it because that is a fact and that is what it is. Most of these people I've mentioned, we know each other personally. We have interacted. I've interacted with each and every one of them. And we know what each and every one of us can think about. And we know how each and every one of us will act in such circumstances. Like I'm saying, I'm embarrassed, I'm shocked, and I'm even horrified. I'm actually trying to send this message to my friend and brother, George Kilon Pontue, who is a CRTV national station in Yaounde. I hope, George, brother, we fought together, side by side. We fought this what we call at the time marginalization. We fought this torture on the people of the southern Cameroons together. We faced consequences. George, I hope you haven't forgotten that you were even detained and we all rushed to your rescue because we said it was one for all and all for one. While we were doing this within the framework of Cameroon Calling, I am praying that you rise to the occasion and use the medium that you are working at to call this Kweton Anderson Conge to order. I know you can do it. This is the opportunity. This is the time for you to demonstrate once more the attachment that we shared towards protecting the well-being of our people. This is very important. And I suppose too that anyone who knows you and who is able to share this with you will do so, brother. I hope that you will rise to the occasion. I'm confident because I trust you. I know exactly how committed we all were to fighting against anything that had to do with the destruction of our land, with the desecration of the integrity of our people. And I'm trusting that you are still staying the course. That said, my dear people of Ambazonia, my people of the southern Cameroons, let's delve into the substance of today's discussion. La République du Cameroon's election had barely been called. That serious drama is already ongoing. And I said that Armageddon is on the way. The way the water is flowing in La République du Cameroon, it may seem as if the water is flowing normally without noise. It's not even flowing upstream for anybody to say, how are things going like this? But you know, those waters that consume ships, consume souls, and all whatnot are not the noisy waters. They're the very calm waters, but that are so deep, so much so that nobody knows the profundity of these masses of water or of these bodies of water. So you may easily think that it's going to be business as usual. I'm afraid we will be here marking the moment and you will know exactly when the spark begins. But even beginning today, the signs are becoming clearer. Now, I was just passing around, and I decided to peep into the space of our noisy neighbors. And this is what I got. Some people who said they are youths, youths, that the money that they had gone round, youths had contributed from region to region. And so today they were officially handing the money to pay the caution. That's what they call the caution for the declaration of the candidature of Paul Biya, and advance 10 million francs for his campaign in advance. Just take a watch.
Élément de sa caution de candidature, nous vous prions d'accepter notre modeste paquet. Il y a là-dedans les 30 millions de la caution et une avance de 10 millions d'efforts de campagne donnés par les jeunes. La suite vous sera transmise.
Now listen, as you are looking at those things there, I want to tell you who are the people that you are seeing on your screen there. Because you know these games have been played over and over, and they use them not only to fool their people, but to fool even the people of the southern Cameroons. You recall that when they got to Bamenda, they said the youth of Bamenda have contributed 7 million. I showed you the pictures of the so-called youth. Nobody among them was less than 50 years old. Not one of them was less than 50 years old. Now you see these ones that are presenting this a package. They say they are handing to the Secretary General, not to Biya, but to the Secretary General at the presidency, Ferdinand Gongo, the sum of 30 million francs to pay for Biya's candidature, to pay the deposit, or what they call the caution, for Biya's candidature, and then 10 million to advance for his election. Look at, there's a fair lady in that video. As you see, when I start playing it, you watch her very well. There's a fair lady standing right deep inside there. That fair lady, she's in blue. This fair lady is in blue. The one that is holding the bag. Is she in blue? I'll check the magic. I think I'm a bit confused there. The one who's holding the bag, in which the money is inside, who held the bag to hand it in. That lady, she's a chief of service. She's a chief of service at the Directorate General of the Budget at the Ministry of Finance of La République du Cameroon. That young lady, when I saw first on social media, I decided to find out with my sources at the Ministry of Finance, and they told me she is rich beyond imagination. Of course, because she's chief of service in charge of a small service, but that service authorizes billions upon billions of CFA. And that is her farm. Here she is thinkingly rich. Let me use that expression. And so that is the youth that are handing. And then the gentleman who's on the microphone, the gentleman who was talking just now, for accepting not a modest contribution, he is the son of a deceased member of parliament who was the chairman, the president of the CPDM parliamentary group at the National Assembly for several years. They call him Ndongo Esomba. A lot of you might not know Ndongo Esomba physically, might not have seen him. But if you have ever traveled between Yaounde and Bamenda, after Makenene, before you get to Obala, that's already in the Leke, there is some wall, some big fence that you see to your left, and there are several houses in that fence. To the left, when you are going to Yaounde, if you are coming away from Yaounde, it's to the right. You see to the left, that on some hills, a big fence with so many houses inside, beautifully constructed houses. That is the estate of Ndongo Esomba, the late Ndongo Esomba. And you know, he is one of those who was indicted for stealing money that was meant for the purchase of mosquito nets to be distributed in communities for people to fight malaria. And they said that was one of the reasons Iben Olangena Awono was thrown in jail. So Ndongo Esomba ate over 500 million of that. Of course, that gentleman speaking is his son. So you will see. So he himself is the board chairman of Hôpital General. He's a board chairman. The gentleman talking, the young man that was a youth, he's a board chairman of Hôpital General. His elder brother is Director General of the Cameroon Civil Aviation Authority, CAA. The Cameroon Civil Aviation Authority, we call it CCA. CCAA, Civil Aviation Authority, CCAA. Yeah. So they call it CAA, the Cameroon Civil Aviation Authority, and it has a lot of children who are everything all over the place. I mean, the late Ndongo Esomba. So you see that these are just a few that I could recognize there, that I could also search, or that other people too could recognize and even write about. Because when I saw them write about, I decided to check out. Because I had a friend, a childhood friend, who worked very closely with Ndongo Esomba, who was even his private secretary at some point. So I could easily reach out to confirm this information before bringing it to the air. Of course, so these are the people who have been chopping. These are the people who are ruining the country with Paul Biya over and over. And they come and pass here for youth who have contributed 40 million. Now you can finish watching the video because you have heard the explanation.
En temps opportun.
So you see the lady wearing a pink dress, she's a chief of service at the Directorate General of the Budget of the Ministry of Finance in La République du Cameroun. There she is.
On a besoin beaucoup de faire ça.
Au-delà de l'aspect financier important, ce que je veux.
So this is the drama that I'm talking about. This is a drama that's unfolding. Where in the world have you even watched this? If people do campaigns contributions, they announce the monies, of course, are deposited in the various accounts. But five people come with liquid cash carrying. This is a message, and I want to make it clear for people who don't understand. This is not for interest or the interest of the people of La République du Cameroun, and then the lost souls of the Southern Cameroons who are hoping that they can get something out of that election. For the lost souls of the Southern Cameroons who are still forcing by all means to commit themselves as slaves to continue to, perform acts of slavery and servitude under La République du Cameroun. That not only have you already been played, but you are simply right now being tyrannified. Because you see what this image is all about? There is just one thing that it translates, and I want to go back to it. There's one message that it is translating. The message that is translating here is that they want to give the impression, not only to you and to me, or to citizens of La République du Cameroun, they want to give the impression to the rest of the world that Paul Biya is so seriously supported, is so popular among the youth, so popular among people that the people themselves begged him. That the people begged him. The people crawled on their stomachs. The people were ready to kill themselves if he did not accept to become their presidential candidate. That is the message here, because you recall, in announcing his candidature, what did Paul Biya say? Paul Biya said, I have decided to react by accepting or by giving a favorable answer to your continuous pleas and calls for me to become your candidate again. And so at 92 going 93, I am now once more your presidential candidate for another 7 years. So this drama you see here is in preparation for what is ahead. Because when they will rig the election, which has already been rigged, when they will steal the election and say Paul Biya has won so overwhelmingly, of course there will be all elements to justify that. See, even the money for his caution was not paid by him, was paid by the people who love him so much, who enjoy underdevelopment so badly, who love living in a situation where they have frequent power cuts, no electricity, who enjoy living in a situation where they don't have portable drinking water, who like to live in a situation where they don't have roads, even not even in the national capital, to move on, who like to live in a situation where they don't have oh my goodness, what should I say? There's just so much to say. That is what they are preparing. They are preparing the people's minds. They are methodical. They are not stupid. You may think that all this ceremony is an empty ceremony. No! This drama is to lead to an ultimate result. What you and I already know. And of course, the other side, that's why I say the drama is getting very interesting. The other side did not waste time. Listen to this lady. She's in Europe but she is Bulu Ekambeti. Hear her.
Camerounaise. Quand ça va même arriver, je vais porter le chapeau. Je retourne au Cameroun. Je m'aborde que langue de bois. Je ne fais pas la langue de bois. Non, je vais supporter parce que je suis bêtis. Non, vous avez dérangé. Hein. Les bêtis, vous avez dérangé cette fois-ci. Vous avez dérangé. Enlevez la candidature de Paul Biya.
Did you hear her? She says she is Betty. She is Betty. She is Bulu Ekang Betty. She says that, oh, so people just expect her to support the nonsense that is going on because she is Betty. She says she will not. And she says that the Betty, she's telling the Betty people that you people, you have exaggerated. Alors, c'est vous avez dérangé. Cette fois-ci, vous avez fait trop. Vous avez trop dérangé. And you hear her warning that when matters, when push will come to shove, she will go back home and act. That's what she's saying. And you hear her ultimatum. Withdraw the candidature of Paul Biya with immediate effect. Would they listen to her? I see she is so tense, so angry that she even reverts now, but today died there. Let's enjoy the flair of it all. Look, folks, they laughed when we were in pain. Now is our time to laugh while working very hard to make sure we do the needful. Watch again.
Biya ne peut plus être candidat. Biya n'a plus la force d'être candidat. Enlevez ça. Vous qui aviez fait ça, enlevez. Enlevez. Je suis en France. Si vous voulez, venez m'arrêter. Comme Sadi avait dit que si tu parles, on va t'arrêter. Venez m'arrêter. Je parle pour mes enfants. Je parle pour...
Did you hear her? She's clear. She says, those of you who have done it, everyone knows that Paul Biya is inexistent. Everyone knows that Paul Biya is mainly a lot of the time on life support. Everyone knows that Paul Biya is so vegetable, so much so that 3/4 of the time during the day he doesn't even know where he is. Everyone knows. And so everyone knows that Ngongo, who is fronting, who is sitting all the time, is actually, he and Chantal Biya are actually the ones who are fronting Biya for their personal interest to perpetuate themselves in power. That is what Issa Chiruma calls power by proxy. Oh yeah, that's what you hear she says. She said, I have spoken. Come and arrest me in France. I am in France. Come and arrest me. She dares them. So let's finish it. It's so interesting.
Mes petits enfants. Je parle pour mes enfants. Je parle pour mes petits enfants. Puis camerounaise. Quand ça va même arriver, je vais porter le chapeau.
So you hear that? So she says she has reached that level where she's not speaking for herself. She's speaking for her children. She's speaking for her grandchildren. She's even speaking for her great-grandchildren, for generations of her family to come. That's why she is speaking up. Is this a message for the people of the southern Cameroons? Is this a message for the people of Ambazonia? There's some of us involved in this our liberation movement who believe that if this thing is not going to happen in my lifetime, there is no point for me fighting. Because you think that you need absolutely to fight only if you are sure that you will enjoy that independence, you will enjoy that freedom, and then you will even be part of the governance. That is why some of us are even already fighting so hard to be called Secretary of State for I don't know what, Minister of I don't know what, whatever. I mean, to be called all kinds of titles. But we forget that even the freedom that we are enjoying, the places that where we are enjoying, people fought and died for it to happen. That's what this lady is saying. She's not fighting for herself, but she knows what is right. She knows that what is wrong and what is right is right. She's talking for La République du Cameroon. You don't expect her to come and be killing herself for Ambazonia. And that's why I'm asking the people of the southern Cameroons who are in total inaction now, who are not suffering from inertia. What are you counting on? What are you waiting for? Who do you think will come and fight for you? Recall I said here that a slave is that person who is sleeping and dreaming that someone else will come and free them from bondage. Oh no, hell no. You have to begin doing it yourself. Maybe somewhere along the line you can get help, but you have to be doing it by yourself. Otherwise, nobody would even understand that you're a slave. Because when you are fighting so hard for your freedom, that people now try to say, but why is this person fighting? and they will begin to understand that, no, you have a right to fight. And they will now come and say, no, this person deserves what they're fighting for. That is what this is all about. That is what this is all about. If you're still sleeping, wake up from slumber. It is not only within the national boundaries that this nonsense, that this thing is happening. Even the international media is now clearly, even right in France, they are now clearly not only mocking at Paul Biya, but mocking at Cameroon as a country. Follow.
Et puis une 8e candidature à la présidentielle pour Paul Biya au Cameroun.
Le pays prévient d'ores et déjà qu'il ne faut pas rêver d'une alternance démocratique au Cameroun du vivant de Paul Biya, tant le système électoral est verrouillé de l'intérieur.
Did you hear what she said? You see, even the man's body language as he announces that an 8th mandate for Paul Biya. And then the lady says, well, there is no point to dream about any power alteration in Cameroon as long as Paul Biya is alive. Exactly what I said before. So you see, right, even in France, they are now boldly saying it. They are now boldly saying what they used to say before under the tables. Everybody is now clear enough to say it. That it is clear that there will never be any political alteration in Cameroon as long as Paul Biya is alive. And she said, il a verrouillé le système électoral. What does that mean? That he has confiscated the electoral process. Oh yes, he has confiscated the electoral process. Paul Biya owns Elekam. Paul Biya owns the Constitutional Council. Paul Biya owns the Ministry of Territorial Administration. That is the Ministry of the Interior that journalists provide. He owns the police force. He owns the entire security apparatus. All of the structures are owned by Paul Biya. And Paul Biya, just by declaring his candidature, he has already won. Simple. So when you see people go around gesticulating, doing this up and down, Southern Cameroonians calling people and all one more saying trash, I say here, in the second half of this broadcast, we'll be talking a lot of this. Yeah. Don't expect anything from the elections. And I think a good lot of the people in the Republic of Cameroon have now understood that as long as Paul Biya is breathing air, even if he is 200 years old, even if he can just shake his head like this, he's gonna be president. And that's why Gen Z is not laughing about it. You see that right ahead. Let's finish with those French people.
Comme l'impression que Biya a fermé la porte, avalé la clé de l'alternance et qu'aucun laxatif ne permet de la sortir de ses entrailles, ironise le journal burkinabé. Paul Biya, maintenant, est toujours Wakat Serra, un rappel à l'inoxydable président, 92 ans, que les règnes interminables sont source de frustrations diverses et débouchent sur le chaos, ou à tout le moins sur des incertitudes et des remous sociaux difficiles à apaiser.
Et il y a aussi du sport dans la presse, évidemment. Hélène.
So did you hear that? She even quotes a paper in Burkina Faso that is mocking at Cameroon so madly and saying that at 93, Paul Biya is about to begin a new mandate. In a country where there are supposed to be young people, able-bodied people, and they are totally in shock. They can have able-bodied people in Cameroon, and then a 93-year-old fellow is about to begin another mandate. And then she says it clear that Paul Biya has locked the key of power, has locked the door to power alteration and swallowed the key. That's what the French lady says, her words, not mine. And she says that one thing is certain, the country is heading towards chaos. That's what she said, well, the chaos. So it's not only Mba Akuro on the JMA connection telling you that La République du Cameroon's Armageddon is coming. Even the international media is now beginning to say it loud. Before, they played around words. Now they're saying it loud. Are you surprised anymore that the French embassy could notify its citizens to be on the alert and get covert, a covert team to tell them, to preach to them exactly what this alertness is, to sensitize them on exactly how to behave? Because they are expecting that if the people of La République du Cameroon are normal human beings, there should not be peace in that country during, before, during, or after this election. This, to be fair, that's what they are saying. So, and then that's not just it. Even Gen Z has now decided that they need to use the internet to depict the situation exactly what it is. And no one could do it better than this gentleman. I beg to say this, I almost died of laughter Please, laugh responsibly. I don't want to be responsible for anyone choking or anyone crashing or anyone developing heart issues. Here we go.
Camerounaises, Camerounais, mes chers compatriotes, il y a quelques années, j'avais indiqué que le septennat en cours devait être décisif, dans la mesure où il permettrait à notre pays de poursuivre résolument sa marche vers l'émergence. Camerounaise.
So you see what is going on there. That shows you exactly how it's going to be. He can't even step out. That's why even when they're saying declare candidature or not, you see the person who is holding meeting upon meeting upon meeting, consultations upon this and that is the Secretary General of the Presidency. Biya is nowhere to be found. And that's why Jay-Z now tells you it is from his sick bed that he'll be making his speech. And you know, even while he's making that speech, they have to be pumping steroids in him to make sure that he's standing it. If you do not understand, take another watch.
Camerounais, mes chers compatriotes.
So you can see that as he's speaking and going, I mean, the medical doctor is watching and you see he's preparing. He said this thing, he may soon not be able to talk again. He has to be increasing the dose. That's what is going on. Because the man is vegetable. He's on steroids.
Absolument, ça marche vers l'émergence.
Like seriously, no one could depict this better. I say no one. Absolutely no one could depict this better. And the drama only gets even more interesting. In the next video that I'm going to share with you, you will see even a madman, even a madman sending Paul Biya publicly a message that he says is from God. I'll cue the background music just so that you watch what he's doing. So you can see him there writing on the wall. I mean, I'm sure it attracted someone who decided to pull out the Android phone to mark the moment. Because what is amazing is that when you see it right from here, you don't recognize just yet who can be writing it. You may say it's some disenchanted youth or some angry politician or some angry father who is unable to feed his family as a result of the policies and all of those things. It is when he will be done. I'll be walking away from there. Revealing what he has written so you can read very clearly, that you will see exactly who this person is. That you will recognize that this is actually a mad person. Not just a mentally deranged person. Somebody who is completely mad and living on the streets. But you see, he took the pains when I got the chalk to come here to write. You see what he's saying there? Si bien blague avec Dieu. Hein? No, he says, si Biya blague, moi Dieu, je ne blague pas. I'm reading it in advance. That if Biya jokes, me, God, I'm not joking. So if Biya jokes, me, God, I'm not joking. What I have prescribed to happen will come to pass. The disgrace that will be unleashed on him will come to pass. That was he's finished writing. Si Biya blague, moi Dieu, je ne blague pas. That's been written by a madman. You see, so you can see him now fully. So you see, so this man is not only mentally, he's not just a mentally deranged fellow. He is a madman, completely mad, fully mad, and living in the streets. He is the one who has written that. I see he took his time, took the pains to write it so neatly. Now nobody will make any error seeing it. These are what I call the signs of the times. And these signs are so glaring, so visible, so public that everyone can see. What hurts me, what shocks me, what embarrasses me, and what really disturbs me is that there are some people in the southern Cameroons that are still to see the signs. They continue, they prefer to behave like the proverbial fly that follows the corpse into the grave and gets buried along with it. What else needs to be done for these people to understand that the time for them to join us, to join the independence ship, to join the self-determination ship and take a stand is now? I don't know what still needs to be done for them to see this. Even the antics that the BIA system used in the past, the divide and rule that they used to good effect in the past to stymie people down, that they have used so much and thought they could use it to end the Southern Cameroon's liberation struggle, which has failed to deliver this far. Although it has slowed us down, but it failed to deliver this far. They tried it right from the beginning. It failed to stop this liberation movement from taking off, at least this phase of it. Now they are seeing for themselves that even in La République du Cameroon, that divide and rule appears not to be paying off. It appears not to be paying off. Because as soon as Issa Chiruma Bakari resigned with those he took into the BIA government, as soon as Bello Buba Maigari resigned with those he took into the BIA's government, except the lady from the south who refused that she was not resigning. You recall, I said La République du Cameroon decided to move on to the next step. That is, ensure fragmentation and serious division, serious divide and rule in the northern regions of La République du Cameroon. Just what they had done in the southern Cameroons right from independence. You recall, Atanga Ponji approved a new party in the Adamawa. And that new party was created by the former vice president of Issa Chiruma Bakari's FNSC party by name Yeriwa Dewa. And so the expectation was that Yeriwa Dewa will use that new political party to dent any form of momentum that Chiruma and the Bello Buba could try to garner in northern Cameroon. How is it faring? Let's see how it is playing out on the field. Very amazing. Folks, as you can see, what is happening there is that Yeriwa Dewa, who is the former vice president of Issa Chiruma's Front National du Salut Camerounais, who resigned and created his own political party, went to Lagdo, because where we are here like this is in Lagdo. Lagdo is in the north of La République du Cameroon. So he went to Lagdo, and that is where he had a lot of people. I guess I even got some kind of mix-up. Yeriwa Dewa just formed his own political party, different from the one that was formed in the Adamawa. So Yeriwa Dewa, Lagdo was his constituency. So he went to see how to, commune with his former constituents or with his constituents, to tell them about his new political party, to tell them about his own political ambitions, to tell them how he's ready to stand on his own, to, discredit Issa Chiruma Bakari, to cast aspersions on Bello Buba Maigari and the others. But when he got there, it was terrible. You can see there, he is being thoroughly humiliated. He was humiliated, they play seriously, with the people calling him an agent of the CPDM party. They're telling him that the CPDM party has poured a lot of money in him to come and fragment the political parties that are likely to create an impact in the northern parts of La République du Cameroon. They called him exactly for whom he is. They called him out, they booed him, they humiliated him, they didn't even give him the least opportunity to express himself. So they said, they turned around and said they're waiting for the next person, whether it's Salmana, who also is being called to resign from Issa Chiruma's party, and they tell him, create your own party very fast and come over, and you have, you have the same form of treatment. So my people, like I said, the terrain is hotting up so well, hotting up. It's so interesting. It's hotting up and hotting up so seriously. The question that I ask is, in all this, have the people of the southern Cameroons asked themselves, even those, especially those of you who are still calling yourself federalists or unionists, have you asked yourself, in this whole dispensation, where do we stand? In this whole dispensation, have you asked yourself, where do we stand? The other day, I heard J. Reningon asking that the candidates are shooting off from everywhere, the francophones, they are glorifying their candidates everywhere. What have they said about les régions anglophones? Qui est dans les régions anglophones? He said they don't do something to make sure that there is some figure coming out of the southern Cameroon that's also being prominent. They are likely to lose the southern Cameroons very fast if they go in this way and run into chaos. While they are seeing it, while they are talking about it, the concerned, what are they saying? We'll attempt answers to these questions after we return from this very short trip to Nsolan. Oh, just before we go to Nsolan, I got this before we continue in Nsolan, I got this brief piece of information, and it came just as we were going on, and this comforts exactly what I was saying a while ago, that La République du Cameroon, that's the Paul Biya clan, they are getting ready for anything, for anything. For anything. That is why they have now upped the ante by appointing today, it happened today, this Tuesday, the 15th day of July 2025, that they appointed a gentleman that you are seeing in this black guy, that's a Cameroonian. His name is Pelene Francois. He's a colonel. As you are seeing, there's a colonel, Pelene Francois. He was a colonel in charge of the B. He has, with effect from today, just been appointed general. He has just been lifted. He has just been promoted to the rank of general. Generally, the B has been controlled by a colonel, right from its inception with the first Israeli who was leading it, who eventually was killed in an helicopter crash in the northern parts of Cameroon. The B has always been manned by a colonel. But given what is coming right ahead, and because Ferdinand Ngongo, the force that he has absolute control over right now is the B. Ferdinand Ngongo has absolute control over the B. That is the force he controls right now. And that is the force he intends to use to keep himself in power. By proxy, at the first instance, by using it to force a Biya victory, so that eventually he will help Biya out by all means, he and Chantal Biya. That is why they've now had to elevate the commander of the B to the rank of general, to make sure he will not have to be answerable to any other person in the army. He will be answerable to himself and to Ferdinand Ngongo alone. For those of you who are doubting the chaos, that even the French media are talking about it right now, you can begin to see the signs. I'm saying this because some people think that this is a joke. There is no joke about this. While the Nordists, through Abubakar Usman May, say they are ready and all options are on the table, and that they are ready to ignite the reactors, Ngongo is responding. by raising the commander of the B to the rank of a general to say, we also have all the options on the table. Tick, tack. I have told you folks, this drama is becoming very interesting. Don't miss any moment on the JMA connection, because this is where you're going to be getting the real pulse of what is happening on the ground. Very important for our people, those who are still standing on the fence, to understand the need to jump back inside the camp so that we will do all we can to get what we deserve at this point in time. Let's now go for our well-deserved break. Oh my goodness, you're welcome back. I usually do not want to stop this when I play it. Just like when I play the Monacan from Manu, I really don't want to stop it. I just want to keep seeing the shaking, the waking, and everything. It's so amazing. My dear people of Ambazonia, you're welcome back. You see, I have said this and I reiterate. The way you carry yourself, that is how people will treat you. If you let people see you as a slave, they will treat you as a slave. If you make yourself bananas, monkeys will take you for food. If you demonstrate that you have no personality, people will treat you like someone who has no personality. If you let them know that you are ready to always play second fiddle, that is the role they will assign to you. But if you stand and make them know you know who you are, you know your integrity, you know what you represent, you take yourself seriously, they will take you seriously. My dear people of Ambazonia, I was once more, to quote a friend who got so embarrassed by a certain situation that he decided to, create a word. Professor Teke Charles Ngewi. He decided to create the word. I was totally estomapherd when I saw this picture. You're not going to find that word in the English dictionary. It was created for a circumstance. That you have gone to the level where you really believe that, in fact, there is no word in the English dictionary that can express what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling. So he said, hey, John, I'm simply estomapherd. And I said, oh my goodness, what a word. Although it does not exist in the English dictionary, but just the sound of it can translate the meaning, can translate the feeling. This is Nkongo Felix Agbobala. He found his way to Garua to go seek audience with Issa Chiruma Bakari. Issa Chiruma Bakari did not come running after the people of the southern Cameroons. That, oh no, you are important, this is an important component we need to pay attention to, or whatnot. We went running to him to go and plead to be considered, to go and plead to be seen. Or is it that Nkongo Felix Agbobala just wants to be having these photo ops, just wants to be dancing so hard? Is he already involved in the rope dance that we read in Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels? So that when the next regime comes up, they will finally give him what they had promised and have not given this far because of Bia's lethargy or because of Bia's inertia. I mean, I ask myself, what is the import of this? When I played a soundbite by Issa Chiruma Bakari in my last outing, I recalled that Issa Chiroma Bakari said there were so many important things that were happening in the country, serious things that would have warranted the attention of the President of the Republic. And to those things, Biya never made any sign, never showed any sign of life. And he went on to mention what to him were very serious issues that would have warranted at least a word from the President of the Republic. He mentioned the assassination of Zogo, of Martinez Zogo, and he said it had drained ink all over the world. People had condemned it everywhere and all of those things. And that is something to him that was so serious that should have warranted the President of the Republic talking. He talked about a couple of other things. He never mentioned Samuel Wazizi. Of course, he's Southern Cameroonian. But that's not even the bone of contention. According to Issa Chiroma Bakari, the most horrible thing that has happened in that country in the past couple of years, or in the past 8 years, was the assassination of Martinez Zogo. Regarding the ongoing genocide being visited by La République du Cameroon on the people of the Southern Cameroons, for Issa Chiroma, it's a non-event. Have you forgotten that while he was Minister of Communication, Issa Chiroma Bakari said that there was even no such thing as Anglophone problem. He said the people of the Southern Cameroon were simply agitators because the problems we were facing were the same problems that every other component are facing. Issa Chiroma Bakari, for the thousands of Southern Cameroonians that have been killed, burnt alive, for the thousands of women that have been raped, whose futures have been destroyed, and even for the thousands of soldiers of La République du Cameroon that have died in the Southern Cameroons. But because we were dying by the Southern Cameroons, it meant nothing to Issa Chiroma Bakari. We are flies. We don't represent anything. And then you get up to run and go and beg Issa Chiroma Bakari that, oh, it seems you are forgetting us. I beg. Think about us. Oh, we are still here. Think about us. When you finally sit on your throne at a 2D, remember us. And if you want to look among people of Southern Cameroons, remember that I, Nkomo Felix Agbobala, I'm the one who rushed to you to talk to you, you know. Just empower me. I will go and tell that Issa Chiroma loves you, even if you don't love them. Just by showing his picture and seeing with you, I will tell them that that's what you said. My dear people of Ambazonia, that's the same thing that those rogues, those members of the CPDM crime syndicate, who have been coming around and calling themselves our elite, that's the same thing they have been doing. Oh, I want to tell Una, Paul Biya like Una so much. Why he is doing this? John Gute has been relegated to running in between Bamenda, Boya, Kumba, baby Limbe. That's what is the reserve for John Gute. Oh yes, John Gute Joseph refused to come and say, oh, this road will fix it. John Gute's only role now is go and do everything and fight to see how you can kill the ghost towns. That is all. My people of the Southern Cameroons, do we want to be in the menu once more? Do we want to be in the menu once more? At the time when people are talking tough, taking stances, and threatening, so that they are able to sit on the table as stakeholders. Idiots who say that speaking for the Southern Cameroon, sorry to call them that, but that's who they are running around and playing video, running around, cap in hand, begging. This is embarrassing. It is beyond embarrassing. And what is embarrassing to me the more, that I will say what is even the more estemiferic, to quote my friend Professor Teke Charles Ngewi, friend and brother, is that this same Congo Felix Agbobala knows clearly that La République du Cameroon are a people of extreme bad faith, that staying with them is simply being unevenly yoked. He says it himself here, and this will not even call for any interpretation. Listen to him.
But because we have a government which really doesn't respond, you know, lawyers had written about 4 memorandums to the state, documenting the problems that they face. But unfortunately, nobody responded to them. Nobody even acknowledged receipt of of these documents. So in 2016, they decided to have a sit-in strike action. For 1 month, the Minister of Justice, the attorney, nobody responded to them. Then we decided that we would march in the street with our wigs and gowns to call the attention of the government. If they were really sleeping, they would realize that we mean business. But the lawyers were brutalized, they were beaten, they were dragged in the mud, their wigs and gowns were seized. As a result of that, teachers and students had to join them in protesting. But these were peaceful protests. But unfortunately, on the 17th of January, internet was disconnected in the English-speaking part of the country for 3 months. I don't know whether you can really figure out what it means for internet to be disconnected in part of the country for 3 months. And that's kind of collective punishment because it was disconnected. We've had the war in the north on Boko Haram, which has been going on for more than a year. At no point in time, internet was cut off. But because of the protests in English-speaking Cameroon, internet was cut off for 3 months. We were arrested, blindfolded, and cuffed, and they drove us for close to 10 hours, locked up in very dehumanizing conditions, and charged in front of a military tribunal. So during this period, when they had taken out the moderate leaders, the movement morphed into other groupings that had been existing.
So you see, I just wanted you to listen to Nkongo Felix Agbobala himself describing how horrible that system is, describing how terrible La République du Cameroon is, describing how inhumanely they treated both him and his colleague lawyers and teachers, describing how inhumanely they've been treating the people of the southern Cameroons, describing how so unreliable they are. Yet, after saying all of these things so eloquently, so well, so neatly, so coherently, the same Congo Felix Agbobala carries himself to Issa Chiruma Bakari. I'm sure I'm waiting for further pictures. I'm sure soon we'll see him with Maurice Kamto. The next minute, we will see him perhaps even with Biya himself or with Ngongo going there to. That's how prostitution, how that kind of prostitution operates. So whoever should come next in La République du Cameroon, don't forget me when you sit there. My dear people of the southern Cameroons, for how long do we want to be fooled? You recall the gentleman who was a former director of judicial police in La République du Cameroon, how he described southern Cameroonians? He said Anglophones, first fool na fool, second fool, first fool no be fool, second no be, third fool na fool. That's a citizen of La République du Cameroon deriding us like that. A citizen of La République du Cameroon calling us to order about ourselves, about our own self-esteem, reminding us that we ought to be more intelligent than this, reminding us that we ought to be smarter than what he is saying, reminding us that we ought to really understand the need to take our own destiny into our hands. When shall we learn? When shall we stop all this nonsense of trying to play stardom? When shall we stop all this gesticulation and come together and focus on what will work for us, on what will win for us? Don't say I didn't say it. They can throw stones at me, but I'm clear about this. Very clear about it. If that did not sink, let's go back to listen to Henriette Ekwe that I caused us to listen to before, but listen to her again, reminding the people of the southern Cameroons that for La République du Cameroon and France, the people of the southern Cameroons are not considered citizens. We are second-class citizens. We are slaves like the Israelis were in Egypt. Follow.
Mitterrand avait dit un anglo-saxon à Yaounde jamais. Et donc, quand le chairman est donc en prison.
Mitterrand avait dit, Mitterrand, le président de France, un anglophone à Yaoundé jamais. How else do you want to be told? I mean, she puts it squarely, straight, with a straight face and says it so triumphantly. When you get into the details, you simply hear now describing how at the end of the day, the United States of America was only begging France, negotiating with France. Okay, since Fundi won the election and he is rightfully supposed to be the president, and you, France, say you will never tolerate a sub-citizen to become president, can we at least make him vice president? Did you hear that? Can we at least give him vice president? Can we at least give them vice presidency? Did you hear that? Is that what you want to be? An object of pity? A sorry mess? To be toast just like that? Let's listen to her again just for the pleasure of it. For those of you perhaps did not have the opportunity to listen again.
Disons, la femme qui était consul, elle envoie me chercher. Et elle me dit, tu sais, depuis la coordination, tu es un peu la confidente de toute l'opposition. Et surtout, tu es l'ami de John. Il appelait comme ça. Donc, Frances me dit que bon, on va te donner une voiture banalisée. Tu vas dire à John qu'on a négocié. Washington et Paris ont négocié pour qu'il soit vice-président. Nous avons besoin de lui. Mais les Français ne peuvent pas accepter qu'il remporte la victoire. Et puis tu lui dis que nous, les États-Unis, on pense qu'il vaut mieux qu'il soit à côté du pouvoir pour lire, prendre connaissance des dossiers. Ah, avec Fundi, c'était la bagarre. Il me dit que mais pourquoi Frances t'envoie? Elle a essayé
So I don't want to suffer us to go all the way to the end with that, because I already paraphrased it. You hear what she's saying? Huh? Fundi won the 1992 presidential election, but he's a Southern Cameroonian. No, unacceptable. He can't be president because these people are a conquered people. They are an annexed people. They are a colonial territory. They are under slavery and servitude. They cannot suddenly find themselves in the sitting room. So for that reason, never cannot be president. And then the United States starts begging, can we at least have him become vice president? That's what it is. If Henriette Ekwe's voice has not shocked you, if it does not disturb you, listen to Jean de Dieu Momo. Listen to him.
La chose simple, c'est que les promesses n'ayant pas été tenues, les anglophones ont été abusés. Voyez-vous pourquoi on en arrive à la République unie, alors que la constitution de la République fédérale avait stigmatisé que la forme de l'État ne changera pas. La constitution le dit, que la forme fédérale de l'État, on ne la touchera pas. Il y a un article qui le dit. Malheureusement, on fait une autre constitution en 1972, en ignorant l'article qui a cimenté la relation avec le côté anglophone. La forme fédérale de l'État n'est pas susceptible de changer, n'est pas en dé.
Did you hear that? I'm not the one saying it. Jean de Dieu Momo is reminding the people of the Southern Cameroons, telling the world, and even telling the people of La République du Cameroon, that the people of the Southern Cameroons were duped, disabused, humiliated, treated in all kinds of manner. Because in 1961, by the time the two entities came together, when La République du Cameroon, that became independent in 1960, on the 1st of January, died, disappeared, and the Southern Cameroons that was achieving its independence on the 1st of October 1961 disappeared, so that the two joined to form the Federal Republic of Cameroon. And La République du Cameroon then became the Federated State of East Cameroon. And the Southern Cameroons then became the Federated State of West Cameroon. The two agreed. There was an article in the Constitution to protect this union and to protect the right of each of the parties. Article 47, sub A, that the federal form of the state will be inviolate. Which means that the federal form of the state will never be touched, whatever the circumstances. I'm not the one saying the 1972 referendum or whatever was shit. That was trash. That was banditry. That was political banditry. It is Jean de Dieu Momo, who is today Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Justice in La République du Cameroon. Then he was a minister. That is Jean de Dieu Momo. He was a lawyer, a barrister, and he was a presidential candidate. That is Jean de Dieu Momo saying it. Are the people of the Southern Cameroons listening to this? Is Agbobala listening to this? Somebody steals from you, spoliates you, deceives you, mishandles you, and you go back begging. It takes me to that story of Mussolini, who took a cock, mishandled it, even peeled some feathers, tortured the cock so well, and threw it to the ground. And everyone who was there expected that the cock would just run. I would never want that if he sees him. And then he threw grains of corn. And the cock came running back to him happily. This is exactly what La République du Cameroon is doing to us. And this is exactly the kind of nonsense that people like Agbobala, people like the members of the CPDM crime syndicate are struggling to drag us into, to perpetrate us under. My people of Ambazonia, are we going to make or mar? Are we going to stand strong and stand firm for what we believe in? Or we will allow these demagogues to cause us to get derailed from the direction at which we are now? If you have not been contributing to this liberation movement, you are just like one of them. If you have not been participating in any way to push this liberation movement, you are one of them. If you are not sleeping and asking yourselves, what are we going to do in the months ahead? How can I contribute to make sure that what we wish should happen comes to pass? You are one of them. My people of Ambazonia, the time now is not to sleep. The time now is to do something. I said the time now is not to sleep and slumber. The time now is to do something. This is what I'm talking about. Let's finish with Jean de Dieu Momo.
Et toute question relative à la forme de l'État est irrecevable. C'est écrit, noir et blanc.
Alors, Maître Momo, nous sommes d'accord avec ce que vous dites, mais dès le départ, quand même, il faut le dire, le Cameroun a été divisé à cause de la colonisation. Il y a eu la colonisation.
Oui,
voilà, dès le départ, c'était quand même un pays. Oui.
J'en viens, je dis quoi? Ça, c'est l'histoire. L'histoire, c'est que, bon, il y a eu les Anglais d'un côté, du côté anglophone, et les francophones.
C'est pas une mauvaise chose si on veut quand même réunir les deux parties.
Mais il y avait déjà l'unification. La fédération, c'est quoi? C'est l'unification. Il y a eu la réunification. Oui. La réunification, c'est en 1961. Oui. Mais la réunification sous la forme fédérale. Maintenant, en 1972, vous avez cassé, brisé cette fédération. C'est l'unification.
Oui, tout à fait.
Pourquoi vous pensez que la fédération, c'est une séparation? La fédération n'est pas séparation. Il y a eu l'unification, la réunification des deux États en 1961. Oui. Et donc maintenant, en 1972, parce qu'on a trouvé le pétrole à Limbé, dans la partie anglophone, les Français qui étaient encore au pouvoir au Cameroun et qui sont toujours encore au pouvoir au Cameroun jusqu'à ce jour, ont manœuvré avec Aïdjo pour créer l'État unitaire en violation de la Constitution fédérale, en violation de l'article qui est le ciment, qui était le ciment de la réunification, pour pouvoir s'accaparer du pétrole de Limé. C'est simple.
So the message is clear. I don't know if I need to do any further interpretation. Perhaps for the benefit of those who don't understand French. He is saying that the 1972 referendum was illegal. He is saying that the 1972 referendum was an act of political banditry. And he said the only reason it happened was because it was a will of France. The only reason that political banditry was orchestrated was at the behest of France, to satisfy the will of France. that decided that the oil that was discovered on the territory of the southern Cameroons should automatically belong to France. And the French knew that in a federal system, and having studied the people of the southern Cameroons, and these are people who know their rights so well, they are going to ask questions, they are going to want to ensure that the riverine communities, that the people of Ndian and the people of who surround the area where the oil will be exploited, that the people will have at least to have projects carried out in their communities. That the people want to know how much the country was going to benefit from this enterprise. And so the French wanted unfettered access to the oil. So they have nothing to discuss with the people of the southern Cameroons. They negotiate everything with Ahidjo in Yaounde. That's why I heard the story of Honorable Malipendia, that he was trashed, flogged thoroughly by Ahidjo, saying, I hear you talk Uya. I hear you talk Uya, Uya, Uya. Now Papa is Uya. So it was forbidden for any southern Cameroonian to even mention that oil was being drilled from our territory, and the people and the territory needed to benefit from the proceeds of this economic activity. And so the French wanted unfettered access. Until this day, the French know our land is extremely resource rich. They want unfettered access. That's why they will tell the people of the southern zone that they call Southwest, say, oh, be careful. You see, Northwest has nothing. They don't have any resources. All they want independence, so they will depend on your resources. So that you, the people of the so-called Southwest that they call, should think that you are a real enemy. Those, the predators after your resources, are the Graphic people. So that you will not realize that those who are after your resources are the French. That those who are after those resources are the French. That's why they will come to the people of the northern zone, the grassfield. They say, oh, we will give you all the big political positions. We will give you this, we will give you that. You see, those people, they are nobodies. They are lazy people, they can't do anything and all whatnot. So that we should think that, yeah, those people, no, we can dominate them, we can. Arrant nonsense. The only beneficiary in all this is not La République du Cameroun, it's France. This is what it is. And that's Jean de Dieu Momo, a citizen of La République du Cameroun, lecturing the people of the southern Cameroons on what we ourselves should already know, on what we ourselves should be bothered about, on what we ourselves should be standing up against. My dear people of Ambazonia, if these things don't really touch you, if these things don't shock you, if these things don't worry you, to the effect that you tell yourself, I must take my wallet, look for my debit card, I must go on now and donate, I must make sure that I become very active, that I must do something to ensure that we break free from the pangs of colonialism by proxy. Because you don't really get it. This is colonialism by proxy. We are being colonized by France through La République du Cameroun. This is something that's extremely painful. It's a very painful reality, but that is what it is. If you don't call it for what it is, you may not measure the weight of it all. This is what hurts me. This is what sickens me. This is what makes me feel horrified. My dear people of Ambazonia, we have to stand up. We have to stand up for what we believe in. We have to stand up. We have to stand up and fight hard to restore the soul of our land. We have to stand up. Stand up and fight hard to kick La République du Cameroun out of our land. We need a place that we call home, where we will define our own development priorities, where we will have the freedom to transform it into a land of milk and honey. We have what it takes. We have the human resources. We have the natural resources. We have the ability to do all of these things. All we need is simply getting La République du Cameroun out of our land, and we will be able to attain our objective. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you that found time to be part of this broadcast with me today. I know we started pretty late on Ground Zero. We started on Ground Zero when it was 9 p.m. It was 9 p.m. And I know that we should be now about 20 minutes or getting to 10:30 p.m. But I want to thank you all who stayed up. Share the link and share the link as much as you can. Let's reach as many people as we can reach. And if you are watching me, you are listening to me, by all means, please do something. If you can't contribute in this account because you don't feel comfortable, I had given my phone number before. I had given my WhatsApp number before. You can reach out to me. Please don't hesitate. Reach out to me. I'll be more than ready to assist you in showing you exactly how you can make your contribution. That number, in case you never had it, is +1 240 883 6443. +1 if you're out of the United States, +1 240 883 6443. If you're in the United States, of course, you just go straight. And so, like I said, this is WhatsApp only. You can reach out there if you are fine, if you feel uncomfortable contributing to these normal channels. But please, those contributions I'm talking about is not only here. It's not only here. There are several other avenues where you can contribute. You feel comfortable contributing to other chapels, please do. Because by all means, let us make sure that we are doing something to push this liberation movement forward. This is very important. We must not lie on our laurels. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your very kind attention. To God be the glory.